Hi, hello, and welcome back to Crick Static Season 3, powered by WannaBuy, an exclusive 360 degrees buying requirement listing portal which uses its impeccable AI analysis and algorithms to make the buying and the matching process an absolute breeze. They've got all bases covered on their website www.wannabuy.in. I'll leave the link in the description. They've also got their own app which is compatible on both iOS and Android. If you want to experience a user-friendly platform and be a hassle-free customer, please do visit it. You'll be a happy customer. Mark my words, I'm a WannaBuy user. They've given the much needed development in the buying and the rental processes. And if you haven't already, I don't know what you're waiting for. Give it a download, visit their website. And with this, I begin this episode, a new episode. And I don't think this episode can constitute even 50% of the enthrallment that we witnessed last night. RCB versus the Punjab Kings, post-match analysis. What a game of cricket. I mean, not the typical Chinnaswamy game, you have to say that. The typical Chinnaswamy game would be 200 from the batting side first, and I think 205 and 19.5 overs for the second innings. So the chasing team has always won there, but RCB has never maximized their home win output. But I feel this time they look a good side. They look raring to go because they have a gun top six. And if Glenn Maxwell is bowling like the way he is, I think you have a set squad. But anyways, now coming on to the analysis first, completely I'm gonna address the Punjab Kings. Shikhar Dhawan got back his groove, got into the mojo again. A fantastic knock, 47 of 35. The pitch demanded him to play like that. Usually the ball will skyrocket off the surface, come onto the bat nicely. All you have to do is pull the ball or cut it through the direction of the line. But I felt, the way Shikhar played, he exuded a lot of temperament and class. And he always has a very calm disposition. That's what I like about Shikhar Dhawan. But it wasn't a typical Gabbar innings. The Gabbar innings would be 47 of 25 balls. But I'm glad that he adapted to the game scenario, especially since he's not coming off a lot of cricket. The DY Patil was the last game that he played. Yes, then he played another one versus the Delhi Capitals. But again, he didn't get a lot of game time. But now since he's playing such knocks where he's playing a lot of deliveries, I think throughout the season it's going to help him deliver that 450 run plus season that Punjab Kings desperately needs from him. Prabsimran Singh showed glimpses of making runs again. A beautiful, sensational straight drive of Mohammad Siraj's bowling, just straight off in the middle of the bat. That was fantastic to see. And again, as I said, Prabsimran Singh holds key to Punjab's chances. The more he fires, the more Punjab is given a chance to qualify for the playoffs. They have a power-packed side, make no mistake. But I think their top three is going to... They have to do a lot of heavyweight carrying. But now coming on to the next player in the Punjab Kings who impressed me the most. I'm not going to address the batting department anymore because I'm transitioning on to the Punjab bowling now. I felt the way this bowler has been bowling, I think he deserves an India call-up. Harpreet Brar, what a bowler. I mean, time and again he's coming in, keeping it 4 overs, 2 for 13. It's fantastic to see. I mean, as a left-arm spinner, he's not turning the ball a lot, right? He's just coming in and bowling those undercutters. He's saying, if you want to hit me, make room for yourself. But take it at your own risk because my balls are very pacey. So that it becomes very hard as a batsman to play him. Either you have to step out and use his pace, which is impossible because he's bowling it on that hard length. He's not giving you any scope to sweep because if you're going to sweep, he's going to get it on your shoulder. If you try and play off the front foot, there's always an inevitable chance of you maximum getting one run, or he's just pushing you onto the back foot constantly. And I think that ball to Rajat Patidar was very well planned. Patidar, yes, he tried to break the shackles. He's not going in. He's not running through a good patch of form. But I felt he's slowly coming back to form. Yesterday I saw a few glimpses of him. He's timing the ball very elegantly. So you never know. He exudes a lot of elegance of what you could see in a left-hander. I have to say that about Rajat Patidar. He's a class apart. I do see him, making runs this season. It'll come. You have to give him time. I think he's thrown into it too early. He has a lot of, experience in the domestic circuit as well, but give him time. Let him calm the nerves as well because there's a lot of pressure now on his name. So he's got to do the label carrying as well. So give him time. Rajat Patidar is a special player. But now coming back on to Harpreet Brar, I mean, the way he's bowling, especially to the left-handers, I mean, it's sensational. He's not giving you any runs to the lefty in that Chinnaswamy ground. If you touch it through the square boundary as a right-hander, it's a boundary. So imagine for the left-hander, the leg side is a natural game for any batsman, and until and unless you're Saurav Ganguly. But I think all the left-hander has to do is just sweep or just pull it off to the boundary for a 4. But I think the way Harpreet Brar has constrained the runs has been terrific. He's not giving any width. That's what I like about him. As a left-arm spinner, usually you try and turn the ball from the middle stump. But Harpreet Brar is saying, I'm a modern day T20 bowler. I'm going to just coming in. I gave examples of Washington Sundar and Akshar Patel, but even they can't, implement so much accuracy like the way Harpreet Brar is doing. I'm going to bowl my undercutters or arm balls on the stump. If you want to hit me straight over the side screen. I have absolutely no problems with that, or else you won't be making any runs of me. Even Glenn Maxwell couldn't face him. So imagine the pedigree that this man possesses, I hope he at least goes as a substitute for the World Cup or even, but maybe on the slow pitches, you never know. And I don't even think it's going to be slow in my opinion in USA and West Indies. I'll come to that as I address Virat Kohli. But I think Harpreet Brar, he's a special prospect, isn't he? And now addressing the next, speed gun, it's of course has to be Kagiso Rabada. Time and again comes in, picks up wickets for fun, keeps it at an economy under 6, 5.75, if I'm not wrong, 4 overs, 23 for 2. He bowled another day, a fantastic spell. And to do that against a prime Virat Kohli, who played probably his best T20 innings over quite some time. Yes, I'm not going to say it's his best, of course, because the 2016 season, those who spectated that will certainly disagree. But I think the way Rabada bowled is, it was fantastic to see. And Harshal Patel and Arshdeep Singh have to find back their mojo because they hold key for Punjab's chances as a bowling contingent. You've got a good side, but you have to maximize the output from your fast bowlers, and you've got to maximize your output from the middle order as well, because you still have a relatively inexperienced middle order. Until and unless Johnny Bairstow fires up top, you're not going to get that cushioning of saying one batsman can fail in the middle order. But now coming on to Virat Kohli, what an innings. He just blew me off once again. The way he stepped down and, drove Rabada through the covers. For 2 minutes I froze. I remember in my hall. What a shot. I mean, the way he's playing right now. You can just see that he's enjoying the game. That passion has once again been re-invoked in him. The way he's, walking the talk now. He's saying that I'm going to make runs and I'm going to make runs in my fashion. He's not playing to impress anyone, to please anyone. He's just saying, you know what, right? If you're going to bowl in my slot, you're going to be dispatched for a boundary. If you're going to bowl short, I'm going to hit you over square leg. And if you're going to bowl anything, outside the off stump, I'm just going to play my, my usual game. I'm going to play carefree cricket, but at the same time, I'm going to enjoy my game. I'm going to exude all that class that I've been exuding all these years on my own terms. So that says so much about the man himself. What an innings yesterday. A shot he played over the extra covers, for 6. I stood, absolutely flummoxed there for 2 minutes because from being a bowler's perspective, you're thinking, where can I bowl to him right now? Another batsman who makes me ask this question is Yashasvi Jaiswal. He's still relatively new in the circuit, but I think wherever you bowl to these two people, they just got to find a shot, don't they? Because Virat Kohli, to even think that Ajit Agarkar and the co-selectors, all of them want to drop him for the T20 World Cup, citing reasons such as he won't be able to get acquainted to those slow surfaces in the USA and West Indies, which I completely disagree with. One, I contradict the slowness of the surfaces. We saw high-scoring games in the CPL, the Caribbean Premier League. We haven't seen a lot of cricket in USA. The New York pitch you've never played a lot of cricket on that, so you never know how the pitch is going to behave. And, being an India-Pakistan game, then it's definitely going to be a high-octane thriller. It's definitely going to be a high-scoring thriller. So, a lot of factors have to be taken into consideration, I agree. But I don't think any of them even come into notion for Virat Kohli. I say the same about Ravichandran Ashwin in Test cricket. Overseas conditions for that man cannot be taken into consideration. He's your number one Test bowler in the country. And not only in the country, even the world. And how can you even look at factors to see why you shouldn't be playing him? Same holds good for Virat Kohli. What a player, what a man. A scintillating knock. I hope Ajit Agarkar, this video reaches him. And I hope he watches this. Please don't make the mistake of dropping the emperor of cricket from the T20 World Cup. In the form that he's in and the way he's timing the ball, he himself said that nowadays people associate Virat Kohli to only promoting the game, but he still has got it, and you very much have Virat, because the way he played, oh god, he left me absolutely speechless for a while. And now coming on to the next big innings, I felt the way this man has been, slogging time and again, rejuvenating his game style, trying to make runs at different positions. And he's your everywhere man. I say that about Ravindra Jadeja as well, but that's because Ravindra Jadeja can field at any position on the field. But Dinesh Karthik, oof, what an innings yesterday. The calm disposition that he exuded, I mean, again, the composure, the temperament, everything stood out for me over his game, which was, of course, I think his adroitness with the bat, it's unparalleled. And it probably will not be only one wicketkeeper batter's swan song this season. It might be another, that might be Dinesh Karthik's. And I'm going to say this, it's a bold statement that I'm making, but I think DK's craft was equally parallel to MSD when he came on. But the only difference was that the captaincy quotient and the backing that MS got, had DK been backed more, you never know. You might have Indian cricket wouldn't have been largely associated with MSD if that had happened. But the way DK went about his batting was terrific to see. The way he was using the pace, he played a gentle flick off his pads. That in itself that shook off all the nerves, because as someone who bats towards the death overs, I can guarantee that when you have a lot to chase, the first thing that you need to do is just get that one shot. That once you get that first shot, then immediately all your nerves settle down. And I think Dinesh Karthik did that. And then immediately the way he was batting, Just kept his head position still and played all his shots even. But I have to say this one thing, a lot of people wouldn't have noticed this, but when Harshal Patel was bowling, DK did not resort for the scoop shot, and that is street smart cricket. That is coming from Chennai gully cricket, and I say this because Harshal Patel is basically coming in saying that I'm only going to bowl slower ones and off cutters and leg cutters. Do whatever you want, but I'm not going to give you a single delivery on pace. And when I'm going to give you a delivery on pace, and that's very rare, but if I'm going to go wide of the crease. That I noticed that now. But when he came in and he bowled that off cutter, had DK gone for the scoop and miscued it would have gone to short fine. Because he has short fine there. I found that again a move that Gabbar missed. I didn't see why he didn't have a deep fine. But another thing was that had he even, let's say, missed it, he would have got LBW. Because you clear your front leg while going for the paddle or the scoop, and your back leg remains planted at times, and because of the slow pace, you might find it a little hard to move it off, and you might have got LBW or even bowled for that matter. So I'm glad that the way DK went about his thinking, the thought process was fantastic. It's a T20 World Cup year. You never know, a comeback could be spooled by Dinesh Karthik. I'm not for it as of yet. He's got to prove his finishing prowess throughout the IPL for him to even stand a chance, because now you've got Rishabh Pant back in the mix. But if DK has a good season, I don't see why you shouldn't be taking him to the T20 World Cup, because that was just one bad year for him. You have to exclude that World Cup. But it was one of the fairy tale comebacks that he made to the Indian team. But it left me absolutely astounded by the way he played yesterday. That shot of Ashdeep Singh, I think, in the last over, that spoke volumes of the man. He said, I'm not going to change the way I play. I'm going to make the bowler change the way he's thinking. Because even Ashdeep Singh is expecting that Dinesh Karthik is going to go walk outside the off stump. He's going to go to the tram line and try and hit him. So he thought, why don't I just bowl it on his body? When he's moving, if I bowl it on his body, he might struggle. It might take a toppage and go to the short fine fielder. That was the thinking. But what DK did, he put extra brain on top of his already large brain and said, you know what, I'm going to just scoop you. I'm going to use your pace. I know you're not going to bowl the slower one. And he executed it wonderfully. The last ball, again, Steve thought to nail the Yorker. He thought if I bowl the Yorker and DK moves a little bit, he might get caught and he might get only a single. And I think he would have been happy bowling to Mahipal Lomro the rest of the four deliveries. But the way DK again, just went straight over the bowler's head for that boundary. And that again, that spoke about DK's character. After the game, you would expect after this kind of a finish from someone like Hardik Pandya, who left me largely unimpressed with his captaincy, to walk off in style with his helmet in his hand and a lot of drama and all of that. But the way he walked off in the most composed way, that showed Dinesh Karthik's character. Mahipal Lomro was so excited, and that's what sets them apart. DK's experience, all that experience coming into good utilization now. He just walked off calmly. He knew that he had done the job for the team. And, had it been a big drama or something, we would have lost the essence of the knock. You would have said, oh yeah, DK celebrated the knock. It was a terrific knock. But the way he walked after that knock, it spoke volumes of his character. And I tried my best to try and bring on the enthrallment of yesterday's game on screen. And I hope you enjoyed this episode of Crick Static Season 3 powered by WannaBuy, the world's first 360 degrees buyers only requirement listing portal. So if you haven't already given them a visit, please do visit them, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the creator and host of the podcast, Asmai Krishnan, signing off. Have a delightful day ahead.